Randy Prince grew up on a Centennial farm near Enfield, Illinois. The farm and homestead were bought by Randy's great-grandfather after returning home from the Civil War. Randy attended Enfield High School, where he was active in the FFA. He enjoyed livestock judging, learning about parliamentary procedure, and working on special grains projects. After graduating in 1982, he attended Murray State University, receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness with a minor in finance in 1986. Randy was back working on the farm, harvesting soybeans, when he received an offer to become a manager trainee with the Illinois Farm Bureau. He would then serve as the Mason County Farm Bureau manager. He started his new position in 1986, and in 1987, Menard County was added to the Bureau. Randy's tenure as manager was a rewarding experience, with the County Bureau receiving several Illinois Farm Bureau awards, including Top Membership Recruitment, the President's Award, and the Liberty Award for Advocacy Efforts. In 1989, Randy became the Executive Vice President for the Macon County Farm Bureau. And during his 10 years with the Bureau, Randy helped initiate the Farmers to Washington program, as well as the Farm Bureau Foundation. In 1999, Randy made the transition to the Greater Decatur Chamber of Commerce, serving as president of the chamber through 2006. It was also during this time that Randy wanted to enhance his leadership skills to serve agriculture and his community. He applied and was accepted to the IALP class of 2004. And like so many IALP alumni, Randy found the program to be enlightening, both professionally and personally. Randy began a new chapter in his professional career, joining 300 Below Cryogenics, working his way up to Chief Operating Officer. The company focused on freeze metal technology, utilized in industrial brakes for companies like UPS, panel trucks, and even New York City's police car fleet. Currently, Randy works for the Illinois Manufacturers Association as a membership consultant. He has 2 children, and his sister still operates their family farm, with Randy helping out on weekends with field work. Stu Ellis grew up on a farm near Taylorville, Illinois. The Ellis family raised hogs and cattle. Upon graduating from Taylorville High School, Stu attended the University of Illinois, received a degree in Ag Communications in 1970, and later would receive his graduate degree in Communications in 1972. Sadly, Stu's father passed away at the end of his college studies. Stu received his ROTC commission in 1972 and reported to Adjutant General School. However, the Army was reducing forces following Vietnam. He spent the next 16 years in the Army Reserve and was honorably discharged with the rank of captain. Stu's dad always said to have a plan B in life, so he started his career in agriculture communications in 1972 in Danville, and then moved on to Decatur as a farm broadcaster with WSOY in 1973. During that time, Stu happened to get assigned to the courthouse beat. He met a young lady who was a legal secretary there at the courthouse. They crossed paths every morning during break time. As Stu states, he was happy he discovered his breaking news. After their first introduction, Stu and Cindy were married 4 years later in 1978. Stu had heard great things about the Illinois Agricultural Leadership Program while in broadcasting. He applied and was accepted, graduating in the class of 1988. And to this day, Stu appreciates and works with many of his fellow IALP alumni. It would lay the foundation for a big collaboration with a fellow IALP alum in the future. After 16 years at WSOY, Stu joined the American Soybean Association in 1989, where he served as Director of Marketing. Stu led the ASA's initiative to increase demand for the use of soybean ink. As a testament to his hard work, the number of newspapers using soy ink increased almost threefold. Stu continued his work with the ASA until 1992, and later that year he went to work for the Illinois Farm Bureau, where he developed educational programs to help farmers in the areas of marketing, contract production, and financial and risk management throughout Illinois. In 1997, Stu joined the U of I Extension in Macon County and became the county agent in 2010. Stu also served as editor of the Extension's FarmGate website. He continued to focus on ag communications for the next several years and is now the host of the Morning Farm program for WCIA-TV in Champaign and WCIX-TV in Springfield. He also does farm programming with several radio stations, including his hometown's WTIM radio in Taylorville. Stu and Cindy have 2 adopted daughters and 2 granddaughters who they raise. They continue to live in Decatur after 40 years of marriage. So, how did these 2 gentlemen find themselves receiving the Torch of Leadership Award this evening? Would you believe it all goes back to 2003? It was then that Randy partnered with Stu. After previous weather-related issues at the Farm Progress Show, as well as a need to establish a state-of-the-art site to hold the world's premier farm show, the 2 IALP alums went to work to implement the synergy the community would need to give the Farm Progress Show a permanent home for its rotation in Illinois. Stu wrote an article in the local paper, and it was received with great interest. Randy and Stu knew the possibilities for a permanent site for the Farm Progress Show held promise, and the 2 fellow IALP alums went to work. Now, there were many things to do in a very short time. There was competition from other locations. A viable site was needed, and of course, financial and resource commitments from Decatur area interests. After hard work and determination, Randy and Stu were able to work with key players in agriculture, business, and government. Archer Daniels Midland contributed $1 million in a matching grant and helped promote the effort. Other area businesses also gave, and soon the funding goal of $9 million was reached. The 80 acres, demonstration fields, and parking would be adjacent to Richland Community College. Legislators at both the state and federal level agreed to support and secure funding for infrastructure needs as well. The presentation was made to Farm Progress business staff members Don Torty and Matt Youngman in 2004, whom Randy and Stu had initially approached in 2003. Less than a year later, all the pieces had been put in place, and the meeting was held at Richland Community College. Don and Matt met with around 100 agribusiness, government, and community leaders and spent the day touring the proposed site, and the decision would be in their hands. In September of 2004, the announcement from Farm Progress made it official. Decatur would become the permanent location for the show. Decatur would host the show every other year with Ames, Iowa. From Randy and Stu's first discussion to an agreement with Farm Progress officials, the dream became a reality in less than 18 months. It was a great accomplishment, but the work was just beginning. The site needed to be constructed, infrastructure, including buildings, roads leading into the site, and the overall layout and planning needed to be completed in less than a year. Thanks to the hard work of Randy and Stu and all parties involved, what we now call Progress City hosted its first Farm Progress Show in 2005. Two individuals with a dream and the leadership to make that dream a reality. That is what these two IALP alumni did to bring the world's premier outdoor farm show to Decatur. It is a textbook example of leadership, and why the 2018 IALF Torch of Leadership Award is given to Randy Prince and Stu Ellis.